So to take us further is someone who I consider a mentor and a coach. Long story short, in 2022, I saw a training online, and the training had, the trainer was somebody I have been looking up to, admiring for a very long time. I decided, okay, no problem, let me go and take this as an opportunity to see this person. I traveled all the way to Zaria where the training was happening. Unlike every other person that came for that meeting, I didn't come really to learn in terms of learn, buy and sell, learn candlestick. I just wanted to connect to this person, and I wanted to learn from what he's doing, to see it up close. It's very easy to look at somebody from afar and assume many things. But sometimes it's good to go, get a bit closer to know them personally, and you might just be shocked that what you are seeing on the outside displayed is just 10% of the real result that the person has on ground. And that was amazing for me to see. I saw that everybody knows, it's a name that everybody knows, but I can tell you, you know so little of him until you go close. You find out that you just know 10%, and the remaining 90% is for people who pay the price to become mentees and pay the price to learn. So I'm talking of no other person than my personal mentor and coach. As far as finance is concerned in my life, I want to honor, and I want us to together honor the person of Sir Ejimi Olufukeji Adegbeye. As he comes up to speak to us, please keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping. Keep clapping, keep clapping.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, sir.
So much, my brother. Good to see you. I think we should put our hands together for the entire Trade Wave team for putting this event together. How many of you remember this clap they used to do in Milo? Pa, 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 pa. Am I that old that you don't know it? It has not reached like that. All right. Let's clap. We're going to do it, but instead of saying Milo, we'll say Trade Wave. Are you ready? All right. We'll know those who grew up watching TV and those who didn't have TV growing up. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. You see, we know those who watch TV from outside the window through their neighbors, and we know those who watch. So let's do it properly together. 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you. Put your hands together for yourselves and take your seat. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, traders. Good afternoon, trainers, facilitators, investors, and just enthusiasts of wealth creation. I want to start off by celebrating and appreciating once again. He calls me his mentor. I call him a brother. And he's someone who has really, really overhauled the perception that people have about the trading industry. So let's put our hands together for him. Let's put our hands together for his lovely wife. For those of you who are married and are traders, I jokingly used to say there should be an association of traders' wives who can come together and share their experiences. You are laughing, sir. Because the only thing harder than being a trader is being a trader's wife. Because if you are a trader, when you lose money, you already know. But maybe 2, 3, 4 days before, you told your wife that, don't worry, I will shock you. Because you were in a position. I said, when I close this trade, I will shock you. Now the market has shocked you. And she is busy preparing for the shocker. And maybe she has started spending anyhow. And you don't know how to tell her that, sorry, madam. Let's slow down. All right, so thank you so much for standing by him. I want to celebrate all my colleagues in the industry, fellow professionals. I see my boss there. Please, let's put our hands together for Mr. Emmanuel. I see Mr. Tonya, the NFP God. I see Mr. David Achom, Elevator Trading. It's nice meeting you in person for the first time. I know of your brand, but I've never had the privilege of meeting you. And Apostle MJ Young, nice to see you again after many years. And then Mr. Maiwa Olabi, much respect. Of course, I've celebrated you. And then my friend and brother. There are many things he can say, but will not say it yet. And then, of course, Mr. David Harvey, thank you so much. And my team is here all the way from Zaria. Please, the Value Flow Trading team, please stand up. VFT to the world. They risk their lives, bandits, headsmen, just to be here. Celebrate them, my friend. Yes. One of the reasons why I'm celebrating and recognizing them is the days of being a lone ranger in this industry, they are over. I say it all the time, trading is not show business. It's not entertainment. We do a lot of show in our business because it's a business that requires showing, but it's not show business. So if you see anybody that is building structure and has a team, you should celebrate them. So guys, you already know that I love and respect you guys. Please clap for yourselves and take your seat. All right. So I'm supposed to speak very quickly on scaling, but my senior colleague here, Mr. Mayawa, took it in a direction, and I saw that the crowd was energized, and so I want to build upon that he has already done. Okay, that's a clappable statement. I had no idea. All right, so when it comes to scaling, I'm just going to share my story and what I have learned as a trader through the years. I took my first trade plus or minus 2007, 2008. And one of the reasons why I entered into trading was I was very fortunate at the time. I had always been interested in becoming wealthy. I have always hated poverty. I do not see any value in poverty. Any lesson poverty can teach you, prosperity can teach you. So I hate poverty. So I'd always been interested in being wealthy. So I went on a lot of research to find out how the wealthy become wealthy. I landed in 6 activities that the wealthy engage in, the first being mass retail. Most of the very wealthy people that you see on Forbes' list have mass retail. They do a lot of things at a very large scale, IKEA and the likes, Zara and the likes. And then I saw that there was also oil and gas. I remember wanting to go into oil and gas. My mother, bless her memory, had a friend in NMPC. So she connected me to the friend, and I said, Auntie, I want to go into oil and gas. She said, are you ready to die? I said, what do you mean? She said, in this country, oil and gas is a do or die affair, that you want an oil well, somebody has the oil well, that you will mistakenly just miss. I said, it hasn't reached like that. It's reached. I want to reach. I don't want to die. So I struck that one out. Then, of course, I now started finding out things like financial services. Then I now found out IT, because I profiled all the wealthy people and how they made their money, right? Because my goal wasn't to escape poverty. My goal was to build a legacy of wealth for my children and my grandchildren, and to build something they can all benefit from. And that is to let you know that if you are here trying to trade Forex because you are tired of your current financial situation and you want to change it in a very short while, you are in the wrong industry. I will say that again. Anybody that is trading that is not interested in the long-term game should forget about trading. What do I mean by that? Be trading for fun. Be trading for excitement. But to think that you will build something sustainable and scalable with a short-term mindset because of your current financial challenges, no, it won't work. I normally throw this question to people. If, for example, maybe you are called to become a special assistant or special advisor to your state governor, and your life changes overnight, will you ever open a chat again? Some of you tell the truth. You find out someone you went to secondary school has become maybe a deputy governor somewhere, and he wants to just use you to set up companies and just be running contracts. How many of you here, the moment he calls you, you walk out of this place and say, I'm not interested in Forex again? Raise up your hand. Tell me the truth. Can I tell you something? Just walk out. Because if you are not here for the long term, the amount of passion, commitment, and grit to succeed in trading, you don't have it. You may want to consider crypto, especially in this current bull run, where you can buy book of memes, and in 2 days, your life can change. But if it is trading, it is going to take quite a while. I took my first trade 2007, 2008. Why? Having studied how the wealthy become rich, I found an area called securities trading. And I found out that securities trading involved predicting and forecasting financial markets. And it looked like the barriers to entry for that one were relatively low. So I decided to stay in securities trading. So my initial foray into Forex was not because I wanted to prove a point, was not because I was scared of poverty, it was because I was trying to choose a career path. And Forex looked like something that could make me wealthy. I wanted to do something that if I do it for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, when I am retiring, I can be a billionaire. If not in dollars, then at least in Naira. Thanks to the crash of the Naira, that one is already a non-issue. So it has to be billionaire in dollars. And I found out that financial markets trading can be a viable vehicle for achieving that. Are we together so far? So it is not an Instagram page of an influencer that I saw. It is not somebody that bought a Benz that I saw. Although when I started to do my research into trading, I found some people with some results that was fearful. Extremely fearful. I know of someone who, they were doing a car show or a power bike show, and I asked, are you going to go for the show? And he said he will not go, because if he goes, he will most likely buy the car or the power bike, and he doesn't need it. I know of somebody that they hit him, his car, and he was begging the person, and when the person he was begging refused to be pacified, he said, all right, you know what will happen? Drop the car that I hit. Let's go to Elizade Motors. Let me buy you the brand new one of the car. You take the new one, I take the bashed one, since you don't want to be begged. And all the Okada people around say, Oga, follow him. And he now, if imagine you tell me somebody that person wants to replace your car, you won't collect, because you collect the car, he collects your destiny. That's the level of liquidity that I saw. Is this making sense? So after having decided as a career path that this is what I want to do, I saw that it has enough space to accommodate my financial goals. Does this make sense so far? Now it doesn't have to be in Forex. I did the same analysis for my wife, who is a baker. She read economics, she graduated as an economist, but she loves baking. So I told her, this baking thing, how far do you want to go? She said she'd like to go as far as possible. So I Googled highest paid bakers, world's best bakers. And I found out that there was a woman called Martha Stewart who made $400 million. That's her current net worth from the baking industry. Baking, nutrition, catering, hospitality. So when I discovered that there is enough money in baking, and I said, okay, my wife, this is where we are going to pitch our tent. Is this making sense so far? Some of you need to go back and ask yourself, why am I in trading in the first place? Because the shege is colloquial for the rigor that you will experience. A day will come, you will ask yourself, for those of you who are graduates, say, but I'm a graduate now. In fact, there was a day I dusted my CV, I looked at it and said, I can't get employed now. It's not that bad. But there is how you enter trouble in Forex. There is only Forex that can bring you out. If you lose 300 million, which job will you do to get back the 300 million? You don't say, I die here. But I'm saying for those of you that have not found yourself in that predicament, ask yourself, why are you trading? Because let me tell you for free, it is in Nigeria that we think it's only trading that can make us multimillionaires. If you were abroad, I can bet you many of you will not even be trading. You'll probably be into real estate or something. So you must have a natural passion for the industry. Say that to your neighbor. Do you have a natural passion for this industry? Do you like figuring things out? Do you like making puzzles to see what makes puzzles work? If you don't, please leave. I'm saying this before you go too far and you do 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years, and you have nothing to show for it apart from your MetaTrader 4 platform on your laptop, if you still have a laptop. Because there's a way you can lose that you will uninstall your MetaTrader 4. I've done it. When somebody was giving an example and saying that you'll be trading in boxers and singlet and smiling. When I was trading in boxers and singlet, I was not smiling because I started the trading day fully dressed. And I had drawdown that I ended the trading day wearing singlet and boxers in an air-conditioned room, and I was sweating. The moment my drawdown came back, I can never forget, GBP JPY around 2010, 2011. As it came back to the amount that it was, I closed the trade, I uninstalled MT4, I took a long walk and came back because the money that I used to trade, it was my late mom that gave me to pay off the debt I was owing another person. She gave me 700,000, and in 4 hours, 700,000 became 350,000. I say, As the 350,000 went back to 700,000, I closed it. I didn't open MetaTrader 4 for like 3-4 weeks. When I opened the JPY, I had gotten to a level that 700,000 would have become like 2.1. You know, when you close a trade, you'll be analyzing. As if when the trade was open, you were not sweating. You say, if I had held this coin, by now I won't be here. Will you have left the trade? All right, so back to seriousness, because there's a level of conviction required. So I meandered around trading for a long time in my life, but I was very motivated because the goal was to become wealthy. Not to look wealthy. Not for people to say that I am wealthy. The goal is to become wealthy. That's why when you said what you said about catering to HNIs, high net worth individuals, that's the goal. Let me tell you something. No matter how many people we pack full in this place, until the Minister for Trade and Commerce and Industry and the Minister for Digital Economy, Bosu Tijani, until they can come for this event, sit down and be taking notes, we have not done anything. If you like, buy G-Wagon, buy the G-Wagon, something they bought for their 17-year-old child for his birthday. That's what you want him to come and sit down and hear you talk about. Until you can discuss where the economy is going and how Nigeria can become Singapore, the trading capital of Africa, the way Singapore is the trading capital of Asia, after Hong Kong, we are not ready. Is what I'm saying making sense? And I'm saying this to you so that your attitude and approach to trading will be right. So because I had conviction and clarity about where I'm going, the goal is to die a multi-billionaire. And I picked the vehicle that could get me there. That's why any challenge I face on this journey, just shake yourself up, eat your favorite meal. For me, amala. Inuero. Once my dopamine levels return, everything returns, and I say, we move. Yes or no? Which is why you will never see me using a big lot size. Because I am playing the long-term game. But those of you that just want to buy a Benz today, to show your secondary school WhatsApp group reunion that you are not that boy they look down on. When you buy the Benz, you realize the market is still there. And you still don't know how to trade. You just bought the Benz by luck. I'll say a story on our floor. One of our traders, I remember the first withdrawal that he made. We all were there when prop firms came out. I didn't used to believe in prop firm because I don't understand the model. But I believe in it now because I've withdrawn. But I still don't understand the model. So when he withdrew about 10-point-something million. And those days, all of us will come out and when we look in, there's a car dealership opposite the office. So we'll be saying, I'll buy this, I'll buy that, I'll buy. You know, there's a way trade will be going in your favor that you have spent money you have not earned. So I remember when he wanted to now, he placed the withdrawal and he wanted to buy the Benz and everything. And I told him, he sent me a message. I said, don't buy a Benz. And I was like, I said, don't buy a Benz. And I remembered another mentee of mine. His name is Sami Matt. Some of you know him, 8DC. He's in the UK now. He's doing his master's in investment banking and portfolio management. The goal, I told him, is if you learn this thing very well, when you come back, CBN governor is not an issue. Straight. He has been only there for 6 months, but his lecturers call him to teach the other people. I saw the leaderboard, the trading leaderboard of his class. He's number 1 in trading. They are learning many things about finance, but in trading, his lecturers call him to teach other people, Indians. And some of you, your goal is to buy BMW. I'm not against it, though, because there's a way you will see Sakpa that you must prove a point, but quickly prove the point and move on. Does that make sense? We are talking vision. We are talking legacy. We are talking sustainability. All right? So back to that other colleague and mentee of mine who wanted to buy it. And I said, no, until you make so and so amount and hit so and so goal, then you can buy the vehicle. I remember when Samima too said this thing to me. I said it last year. He said, people say I'm poor. I said, that's the problem. You are trading people's opinion, not trading for income. You are trading for opinion. Regardless of your perception of my wealth, it doesn't increase or decrease my wealth. So why should your opinion affect me when it doesn't affect my income? If you learn to trade for the sake of your personal benefit and not what people say, you don't know the big deliverance you have done for yourself. All this rushing to prove that you are successful, no. It doesn't work that way. The goal is the knowledge and the mastery. Once the knowledge and the mastery is there, the profits will come. And I remember speaking to him, and then a little while after, he bought the Benz. But he bought the Benz after he had set up his own trading floor. After he had bought equipment and bought computers and bought everything for his trading floor. Same thing I said to you when you came around, sir. And we spoke, and I said, you are extremely good. You are in Abuja. Please set up your office, take over, because you can't scale without structure. It's only in Nigeria that you see a forex trader say he's a multi-billionaire and he doesn't have an office. He doesn't have staff. He doesn't have people on a payroll. Will you go and meet a Costaris and tell him you are a billionaire and he comes and he cannot see structure in place? I remember the first time someone told me, an investor, he looked at me. I said, we'll do this, we'll make that. He wasn't even thinking that it could go bad. He said, what if you die? I can never forget that statement. He said, what if you die? I shall not die but live. He said, live story. What if you die? And I've gotten used to withdrawing profits. And that was when I realized that we have a very long way to go. If all you know about trading is charts, you will not go far. I'm a chartered wealth manager. I'm a member of the American Academy of Financial Management. I am a fellow of the American Academy of Financial Management. How many of you remember Ola of Lagos? There was one time he did something about a jet. One video about a jet that trended. And everybody started following that jet guy. In our office, we had been following that jet guy months before. We watch his videos. We see how he sells his planes. We look at how he's talking to HNIs. We look at the marketing tactics. We said, oh, the way he arranged this place, this is how we arrange. Because you are not the first to want to be wealthy. You are just using Forex. Does that make sense or it doesn't make sense? You are just using Forex as your own vehicle. The rules of wealth will not change because you are using Forex. So you must, if you are going to scale, you must structure your life in a way and a manner that there are systems. All right? And I will tell you 4 areas you must focus on if you will ever scale and achieve certain levels of wealth. All right? In Forex. The very first thing that you must understand if you are going to become a successful Forex trader, and when I say Forex trader, I don't like saying Forex trader, I like saying Forex businessman. Because there is an entire value chain in Forex. I was struggling in Forex up until 2010, 2011, 2012. I really struggled. When I started trading, there was no Instagram. There was only websites. So you couldn't even tell whether the person that is teaching you is even still trading Forex. Maybe he set up the website 4 years ago and just kept the domain name for anybody that is willing to buy the course. He may have abandoned Forex, but the website is still there. It's not like now that you can observe someone on Instagram for 1 year and say, okay, will I say this guy get money? Then you give. No. So we started blindly. We started very, very blindly in our trading journey. But I've lost my train of thoughts. This is why we should use slides. And thank you. Thank you. You see, you people too, this is how you get excited, but you don't know what is exciting you. Because only those who were listening that said 4 areas. Okay, or maybe I'm just trying to deflect that I forgot on you. So we will be together in the lashing. All right, so 4 areas. The first area that, okay, yes, I said, and I was struggling, and then I met a guy online. He was a Norwegian, or he's Danish, the Viking, Netherlands, that area. And he told me that retail traders always struggle for the charts. That the bulk of your income will not come from the charts. That the bulk of your income will come from understanding the entire value chain of the industry. The person talking to me had made $100 billion in revenue and $100 million in profits those 2 years. He's on Skype. I've looked for his handles. It's like he deleted me after talking to me. And he told me, study the entire value chain. That was when I started looking for exams to do. How many of you here have exams, finance exams lined up for you to do? Raise your hand. Raise your hand, apart from the organizers. Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you here are taking open online courses about finance, wealth management generally? Raise your hands. Okay. Trading is a job. Forget that we glamorize it. It is a what? Job. Have you ever seen a medical doctor come and meet another medical doctor and say, oh boy, if you see the dead body we I handle today? Do they do that? Have you ever seen someone in real estate come and say, except he's trying to sell to you, you say, if you see the cladding, the decking that we did today, do you hear them do that? But it's only in trading, you see someone say, if you see the trade I took today, is it one trade that will make you wealthy? Become professional in your outlook. If you came here from wherever, nobody's judging you. If you came into Forex as a Yahoo boy, you are no, leave that mindset. This is a profession. And it must be pursued professionally. So when this guy was speaking to me, he said, study the entire value chain, which is why I like you. Of the Forex market. Do you know it was invented by someone? Forex futures. I'm not talking of foreign exchange, but trading. I mean electronic trading, where you have contracts, liquidity. It was invented by a professor around the 60s or the 70s. He's worth 1 billion. I don't know how you can invent Forex and be worth 1 billion. All these professors, they don't like money. I will invent Forex and it's 1 billion. I'll carry like. In fact, when I'm done with it, it's the crumbs that I'll give others. So what was their plan? What was their goal? Is what I'm saying making sense? So he told me to study the entire chain. I found out they are brokers. When I found out they are brokers, how do brokers behave? Traders come, traders go, brokers don't go bankrupt. You have brokers that have been in existence 20 years, but you can't find traders who have been in existence 20 years. What does that tell me? There's something we are missing. I started finding out, and this is some of the research some of you will do, even though you have not yet mastered trading, because this is your career, you are going to begin to think and talk like a professional. And the day somebody that can help you hears you, you say you are sounding different from the other people. The other people say, see 400 moving average, and 200 when it crosses, put 10 million. They say because of a line, a red and a blue line, 10 million I worked for. But when you can talk intelligently, you go further. Is this making sense so far? Fantastic. So I started to study the structure. I found out there are brokers. I found out that there are educators. Not just I run an academy. There are professional exams. There are different places you can make money. Because we're talking about scaling. Scaling is not just getting bigger capital. And I hope you know, trading big capital doesn't make you a professional trader. We have had money managers in this country that had 10 billion under management, 20 billion under management. And the Ogakpatakpata of them, MBA, I'm not offending anybody here, hundreds of billions. Does that make you a professional trader? No. It is the structure and systems that you put in place that makes you a professional trader. So I studied the entire value chain, and I discovered that money can be made at any level in that value chain. So I'm saying this to somebody out there who is saying, can Forex work? While I'm trying to build capacity, study the value chain. What did I say? Brokers are there who are employing people every day. Be excellent. I quit my job as a bank trader, right? Trading in the bank, local stocks, Nigerian stocks for offshore clients, and I went into brokerage. Before I got that bank job, I targeted the bank job. I was the only person in the bank that didn't read economics, accounting, or anything finance related. When I told them I read design in school, they said, I know the owner of the bank. That's the only way I can have that job. I said, I will know the owner of a bank personally. And his job I will ask him for. I don't know. I will have personal relationship with the owner of a bank. And I will say, help me, sir, with a job. Or I will structure deals. But that showed you the amount of personal development I did on my own. Does this make sense or it doesn't make sense? The day before my interview, I studied about all the people who started banks in this country. I studied about how they rose. For those of you who don't know this, most of the big bankers you see were the ones who were able to get oil companies to open accounts with them. Same thing with Otuba Shobobiwa Logun, FCMB. He was the first to do a local IPO, fundraising for an offshore oil company in Nigeria. That's how he made his money, the initial money. Many of you don't know this. When you stand before an HNI, when you stand before a Costaris, when you stand before, what will you say? Fair value gap? Inducement? Those are the things we use to make money. But those are not the things we package ourselves to attract people. Is this making sense? And I throw this to you as a challenge. Until you can bring the Minister for the Digital Economy and the Minister for Trade, Commerce and Industry and the Minister of Finance, and three of them are sitting here, like even your presentation will change. Yes or no? Because if there is anything the younger generation can use to attract the attention of the older generation, it is trading. Is what I'm saying making sense? What will make a multi-billionaire listen to you is a level of mastery that you don't have, that he doesn't have, that you have. Yes or no? I'm trying to get you to see beyond just small lot size withdrawal. No, this is an industry. And this is why we must collaborate. So when he explained the entire industry to me, I started to find out about the industry. I now discovered, even in my personal trading career, that the place where you will make the biggest sum of money is actually in trading, in taking risks, entering trades and exiting trades. But pending when you are good at that, learn other things that can keep you in the industry without you necessarily having to risk money. Is what I'm saying making sense? I'm telling you my journey. When I started trading, I thought I had figured trading out. I got money from friends and family, and truly I figured it out. Then the market changed. And when it changed, I got into trouble. But I didn't, what did you say? The market figured tall, and as it figured me out, it flushed me out. But I wasn't ready to leave. So I said, okay, let me work for a broker based on what I have learned. So I was still earning. I was still in the corridors of the industry, and I was trying to figure out trading. Is this making sense so far? If this makes sense, say it makes sense. People will say, if he's really making money, why is he selling courses? He's selling courses because he's not yet sure that he can make money next month. So he's selling courses because this person told me, study the entire value chain. I remember those days when I used to market seriously. I don't even market again now. That time, I'll say two things online. The next thing, buy my course. Buy my course. People were laughing at me. Of course, you must buy it. I just had a drawdown, and it's your course fees I will use to fund the account again. Buy my course. And I will show you how not to blow your account the way I blew. You are laughing. Okay, I should package for you. And doing that, I learned how to sell. And selling is one of the fastest ways to make money to fund your account. Am I helping someone or I'm wasting your time? All right. So I started studying the entire industry and becoming a professional in that. Okay? Then I now said, because the biggest sum of money will always come from trading, I can't abandon trading. Because no matter what I want to charge for a course, I cannot charge you more than $5,000 to $10,000 for a course. I was in Maldives the other time, and there was someone I wanted to train me. I wanted to fly over to his own island. He said $29,000 for the training. I said, come again? He said $29,000. I said, I would love to pay. But the Naira dollar value in my country, if you convert that, my brother, he didn't answer me again. We were both in Maldives at the time. Right? So let's say the highest possible amount you can get from a Nigerian is maybe $10,000. No matter how big $10,000 is, it will finish. Especially if you are doing flexing lifestyle. So the biggest money that will ever come will still come from trading. But in trying to scale, learn other associated skills that can keep you in survival until you figure out trading. So when I had structured those other things, and I said, okay, it is now time to figure trading out well. There's an analogy I use. Please forgive me. I've not been able to find a better, more appropriate example. So my example is an inappropriate example. Am I forgiving? Can I give the example? I used to say trading is like when you are fighting with somebody. Forgive me. And you hold the person's hand, right? To subdue the person. I I'll say it one last time. Please forgive me. You know that holding somebody's, for those of you streaming online, holding somebody's blockers is different from holding somebody's hand. Yes or no? Some of you are trading. You have held the market by the little finger. And you are boasting and telling the whole world you have become a successful trader. Please, if you hold me by my little finger, what's the probability that I will escape? Some of you are trading and you have held the market by its wrist. And then there are the few who have actually held the market where it matters most. And when you squeeze the market, say it's okay, take your withdrawal and yes or no? How many of you know you have not yet held the market where it matters most? Raise your hand. There is nothing to be ashamed of. When you hold it in the hand, there's how you manipulate the hand and you collect some profits. What you need to do is admit where you are and look for help. What did I say? Look for help. The challenge is that many of the people that you are seeking for help, they are not, you don't know whether they are qualified enough to help you. So these 4 areas will help you to evaluate. The first thing that anybody who is going to scale in this market must master is sentiment, market sentiment. What did I say? Market sentiment is related to behavioral finance. It simply means a way of knowing where the market is going long term. Let's see trading view, daily time frame, Euro USD. For example, since October of 2023, one sentiment has been driving the market. And the sentiment that has been driving the market is dollar dump. Sell the dollar versus everything. Those of you who trade, do you know what I'm talking about or you don't? It has been a dollar dump. Everything is rallying versus the dollar and is hitting all-time highs. Let's see it. That theme started in October in anticipation of interest rate hike this year by the Fed. If what I am saying doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. You don't need to understand it in depth, but you must be able to look at it at in a chart and see it. Let's see Euro USD or dollar index since October. So that is the current theme. Any trade you are taking in the long term, make sure as much as possible you are not planning to buy the dollar long term. Is what I'm saying making sense? Because the current sentiment in the market is dollar dump. There are 6 themes that move the market. There are not more than 6 economic themes. Dollar demand, dollar dump, portfolio rotation, interest rates. What are the other 2? Risk on, risk off, and there's one other one. Typically it's 5 to 6. At any point in time, that's what is moving the markets. All right, so is this the monthly? Sorry, let's move it to daily. I just want to see from October of last year till now. So you must find a way of knowing what economic theme is driving the market per time. Different people use different tools. And thank you, sir, for the very robust tools you gave us. Correlation studies, index studies, and commitment of traders, COT. COT report is very dicey. You must find someone who uses it on a weekly basis to make money. If not, you'll just be looking at the report and you will not know what to do with the report. How many of you have researched COT and you researched and didn't find anything apart from just knowledge? Exactly. So, this is the theme. Where is October? Euro USD. Do you see what happened in October? What do we see in October? The interest rate hike. So interest rate hike, where the Fed has been increasing interest rates, had made everybody dump everything to do what? To get into the dollar, because they are looking for yield. All of that came all the way down, and when we got to October, something changed. How you will know that something changed in October? Put anything versus the dollar. This same time frame, just change it. Anything versus the dollar. BTC USD, put it. Gold USD, put it. And you will find out that that was what changed the sentiment. So, master what? Sentiment. Does this make sense? Find a way of knowing what the economic theme, what the big boys want to do. And by sentiment or fundamentals, I don't mean data release. I mean, find a way of interpreting. For some of you, you don't know how to understand fundamentals. That's fine. Forexlive.com. How many of you know forexlive.com? Every morning, they tell you what their opinion on the fundamentals are. And you have an idea of what is driving the market. Can we put something else? Please put something else. GBP USD or BTC USD or gold USD or silver USD. You will find out that the current economic theme now is sell everything versus the dollar. All right? So find a way to understand sentiment, correlation studies, anything. The second thing you must study and understand, right, is what we call structure, market structure. Let's say that together. Market structure. For those of you who may want me to do a recap, let me say what I said under market sentiment. There are 5 to 6 themes that move the market at any point in time on the higher time frame. A demand for the dollar, a dollar aversion, an aversion for the dollar, risk on, flight to safety, portfolio rebalancing, month-end portfolio rebalancing, quarterly portfolio rebalancing, what people call seasonality, right? And then lastly is interest rates, the quest for yield. Those are the themes. Any research you are doing online, any mentor you are talking to say, how do you determine what the theme is? And by theme, it can also be called higher time frame trend, right? But you have to find a way that has nothing to do with the charts of finding out what is moving the markets per time. This is why some of us know or knew that the dollar versus the naira will keep going up. The last time I posted about USD NGN was like 2 or 3 years ago. There was no need to say anything after that. Those of you who follow me, you saw the post, right? When it jumped from 365 and went all the way up, and the CBN released the circular saying it's coming back down. And somebody called me and said, it can never come back down. Never. What are we producing? What are we selling? How? The only things that we are producing and selling, exporting, nobody is supporting it. The youth, the music of Nigeria, the entertainment of Nigeria, and then non-oil exports. So once you understand these things, it helps you. And if you are seeking a mentor, say, how do you know what the long-term trend is? Fundamentals. Now, some people totally ignore sentiment, right, of determining the longer-term trend. If you are going to ignore sentiment, you must be very good with structure. So that brings us to the number 2 thing that you must master, which is market structure. Market structure is basically 2 things. 2 things. Create liquidity, consume liquidity. Whether it's ICT, whether it's fair value gap, whether it's whatever it is you want to, what they are doing is they are creating liquidity. What do we mean by creating liquidity? They take price to a place price has never been before. They carry price to where you don't know. Swing highs and is this making sense or is not making sense? That's exactly what you spoke about. And whenever they take off from those points, they want to go back and visit those points. We'll look at that in the chat. Are you seeing GBP USD? What happened around October? Same thing, yes or no? Put BTC USD for all those people who believe that crypto does not follow fundamentals. Although now they don't argue again because after the Fed did quantitative tapering and they entered bear run, I beef crypto people because they make so much money easily compared to Forex. In Forex, if you see 10% in a month, you are a fantastic trader. You now see somebody that says you just bought one coin and made 50x. You now be like, with the shaking I've seen in this market. So I always take jabs at crypto people, but I love crypto and what it does. Although I don't really trade it, but I understand how to trade it. And I follow it every day. For you, those of you who are looking for the next coin, right now, book coins. That's what's reigning. Shit coins. Any coin that has book. Book of memes. Book of this. Book of that. When you're on CoinMarketCap, do your research with book coins. That's what's reigning right now. No need to clap. This is the thing. You clap when you don't know what to do with the information. Then you clap, then you now say, this guy is a guru. How? What did I say? We don't read. But thank you. Clap for me. I'm happy. All right. So, back to, where is October? I can't see. Okay. Is this October? Is this Bitcoin? What happened at that same October? Do you see the range? After the range, what happened? Boom, it took off. That means something happened in October. If I were you, I would go and research everything that happened fundamentally in. whatever can correct the whole market like this is something worth paying attention to. So that even if you don't make money this year, by October of this year, if it is something that shows up seasonally, you will know that, okay, from October I will make money again. Is this helpful or is it a waste of your time? Clap now, encourage me too now. I like clapping, don't mind me. All right, so understand sentiment, find a way. Then now understand structure. And structure, like I said, is liquidity. They look for places they've not been to before to go there and wipe people's stops, and then they look for inefficiencies. What do we mean by inefficiencies? Different people call them different names. Let's go back to Euro USD. Once you see larger than normal candles, take note of them. This information is available online. We do a TDA. Those are my guys there, fantastic traders. We do a TDA every morning and every afternoon. We do London session. I call it TDA. People call it TDA, but it's actually market color that we call it. Top-down analysis. We analyze the pairs for the day, and you see the positions you want to take, and then by afternoon, we do another TDA to see if price actually went our way. How many of you here subscribe for our free? It's free. We send out the link every morning. How many of you? Have you seen calls? Did we make money? When we don't make money too, you see silence, yes or no? Once you see the team putting out plenty content back to back, Abigail is just posting, just know that the market has done something, so she's just busy doing content. Or if you see people lying down, in our trading floor, we have couches where you lie and look at the ceiling and think about your life. And say, will I not just use my degree? Then I say, no, how will I make these billions? We move. So we have stuff like that. So the TDA, please, sign up. It's free. It's available, please. Okay? So the second thing is liquidity concepts. And what do I mean by liquidity? Let's look at this chart together. Price starts from here, pushes up, comes back into previous liquidity levels. Pushes up, comes back into previous liquidity levels. People call it different things. Retest, inducement. When you are studying market structure, that's what you should understand. Overall trend, higher highs, higher lows. If it's an uptrend, lower highs, lower lows. If it's a downtrend, then return to liquidity. Return to liquidity, internal liquidity, external liquidity. I'm telling you the things that if you want to scale, focus on these things. Even if you are using moving averages, indicators, ask yourself, how do these indicators show me where liquidity is being created, and where liquidity is being consumed? Market structure. Can we say that together? I can tell you categorically, these two things can be mastered. Please, when I have 10 more minutes, come and tell me. I don't want you to come and stand. Give me 10 minutes to wrap up my thoughts. All right. You can master sentiment and structure. If you join, for example, our TDA, and you see those concepts being taught on TDA for free for 6 months, when you look at the charts, your eyes will be able to pick structure easily. Of course, the reason why you do paid trainings is for people to hold your hands, for you to pay for their time and their expertise, and to find a community of like-minded people. So those of you who like free, you will get the information. Will you get access to individuals? No. You can't come and meet me and say, sorry, sir, somebody actually did that to me. Sorry, sir, I got your training videos, but I have a question. I say, go and meet the person that you got the videos from. Because you can't pay somebody else and then want access to me. So that's why we pay. We pay for access, we pay for relationships. Okay? So back to the issue of structure, liquidity, understanding that. The third thing that you must master if you will ever scale is what I call psychology. Psychology and self. You see that one, you will never, ever outgrow mastering yourself. Even if you have a robot, maybe it's you that will click enable trading, turning the smiley on. When the market is doing anyhow, how many times have I turned off smiley and say, robot, shift first. Let me get this money. And I'll manage the drawdown. Because I'm like, I don't have access to the person that created the robot. If this thing blows my account, I'll be looking at the robot will be looking at me. That's why I like robots better than fund management. Go and shout on the robot. You can call the trader and say, You, this trader, I will deal with you. Deal with the robot. So, but back to what I'm saying, psychology and self. Now, this is why when you are learning how to trade, make sure you learn the right way. If you learn trading on the wrong foundation, something will happen to your psychology that you will teach somebody how to trade. The person will be doing very well. You'll be losing. I always make reference to this, my student Sami Mat, because when I met him, I was doing 5% a month. He took what I taught him and turned 18,000 to 360,000 in like 4 weeks. He now came and asked me, in fact, I felt very foolish that way. He was being very sincere. He said, sir, why do you target only 5%? I said, if you know what I've been through. When the market gives me, what's 5%? 3.5%. I'm like, thank you so much, uncle. I collect it and I go. And he said, he doesn't understand why. I said, my psychology is messed up. The guy's on the floor. Sometimes when I see their trade calls and everything and the confidence, I just shake my head. I say, I will see it in their faces sometimes that, you mean you can't spot this? I say, I don't blame you. I blame psychology. If you have never run from police, where you open your chat and you are seeing police, so preserve your psychology. Because once your psychology gets messed up, the chances of rehabilitating it is very low. This is why you shouldn't trade with money you can't afford to lose. When I was working in the bank as a trader, there is a flaw for execution. There is a flaw, is risk and compliance. They are all lawyers. When you join the bank, they call the police. SFU will come, they will take your details, they will take your thumbprint. The first day they came, I said, what did we do wrong? He said, nothing yet. Imagine, it's because it's your money and it's your laptop. Imagine that as you open your laptop, you see a police officer say, thank you, you're welcome to today's trading session. And as you're trading, he's just beside you, say, do you need water? Are you all right? You will enter a trade, they will call you from third floor. Hey, Fukeji, how are you? I said I should greet you today. How is your wife? They are reminding you of all the people that will suffer the implication of this over-risking. Is what I'm saying making sense? That's one of the things my head of ops is here, Sir Mike. After you finish taking your trade, he will come and he will look at you and say, so, explain this trade to me. Now if you look and say, had it been? You will now look and say, why did I take this trade? There was someone that came to our floor that was a fantastic trader but was not doing so well. 3 to 6 months after, because the structure to help your psychology. When you say you are done for the day, you are done for the day. They shut it down. So get a community, association of people who are going where you are going. And say, I will make myself accountable to you. Let me tell you, trading is hard. This thing that we think trading is easy, well, I don't know. I say this all the time. My own trading is hard. Because the things that go through your mind. So don't be ashamed. How can you be good at something you've never trained for? How can you open your chart now and believe you are good? Why are you shy? I'll tell you a story. When I set up my flow, I used to trade from inside my office. After a while, I said, Ejimi, you are not doing yourself good. I got a desk amongst the traders themselves. In fact, there was a day that day I was ashamed. We started out on some accounts, so we had leaderboard. They are laughing because they know, we've never had this conversation. When we started the leaderboard, I was the last on the leaderboard. They are laughing now because I know they want to say, sorry, sir, why are you the last person on the leaderboard? I was the lowest, and all of them were just, making money, and I was right down there. But I did it for a reason. If they think I cannot trade, that floor, where did all the funds for the floor come? Where did all the funds? But they saw. If I now come and be speaking grammar, say, actually, it's a lie. You are the last on the leaderboard. You know why? My goal is to make money from trading. If anyone in my circle becomes a fantastic trader, I will become a fantastic investor. Do you know you don't have to be a trader? If 2 of your friends are fantastic traders, do you know some of you don't need to look at chart again? You just have to be the risk and compliance officer to make sure that they don't blow your money. Yes or no? This ego that we tie to trading There's no need to be accountable. It's what I'm saying making sense. You will make progress that way. There are seasons where I was trading and it's as if me and the market were in sync. There were other times I came back to the market as if it's another market, it's another pair. I said, okay, but bros, last week you were good to me. What with this breakfast? Where did I offend you? Should I appease you? A pair you know so well, you will not know it again. And you'll be looking and say, I'm on my face here. I know this face. It's what I'm saying, making sense. Am I being real? Or you think because we've made hundreds of millions from trading, we don't go through it? Till tomorrow. There are days I avoid the market. I say, day your day. Before you destroy my self-esteem and make me feel like I'm a fool. So, psychology, community for accountability, your trading environment, make it look professional. Make it look clean. Get a good chair. Get a good table. Change your screens. Look professional. The mentors you see, look like them. I see many people, we see the things that they use their trading profits to buy. How many of you will go to a hospital and as you get there, they just put a mat and drop the mat. Then use hanger to hold drip and say, yes, your hand. Bring your hand. You must look like a professional. Is what I'm saying making sense? Psychology. You do things to improve your psychology. Then, and this is the last and final one that many people fail at. When you have been consistent for a while and you want to start scaling, that is a season of rapid capacity building. That you spend time learning how to trade doesn't mean you know how to run a business. You are a trader, not a businessman. So, this is what I'm saying to you. When you want to start scaling and doing investment management, please, 2 things you must learn. Go and study investor relations. What did I say? You will see banks will go through ups and downs, recessions. You will see the bank still standing. How do they do it? Investor relations, investor communications. Some of you need to do professional courses. The second thing that I will advise you to do when you want to start scaling up, go and study luxury sales. Go and study what? Luxury sales. These things I'm telling you, I know when I go back, my guys will be like, why are you telling them everything that we do? Study luxury sales. Study HNIs. Pick a hobby. Learn golf. Learn polo. Hang around them. You are not from a privileged background. Hang around the privileged people. Learn how they think. You meet someone and say, sir, I'm going to do 300% returns. That's the exact reason why he will never pick your call again. Because he didn't build his business doing 300% per annum. And in your mind, you thought you were telling, there are some people that all they want to hear is capital preservation. Sir, we will beat inflation rates by 2%. They're like, that sounds good. Let's talk. And that's when you start doing professional courses and learning. And then 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line of doing this business, you look back, you look at what you have been able to hold on to, and you feel very fulfilled and very successful. If you do these things wholeheartedly for 3.5 years, and you don't see significant results, meaning you learn about the entire Forex value chain, meaning you learn about market sentiment, meaning you learn about market structure, meaning you learn about psychology, understanding yourself, and then you learn investor relations. It is impossible after 3.5 to 5 years not to have made above average income. Yes or no? Do you believe me or I'm just talking? All right. So this is my own contribution to the success of this program. I hope you've been able to see and take something away that will be beneficial. I want to once more thank the organizers for a fantastic event put together. Lastly, if I don't do this, my head of ops will, where all our packages, all our training packages, because we are here, we are willing to do a 50% discount, okay? For those of you who have always wanted to patronize us, if you are here in Abuja, please stick with TradeWave. They are doing a fantastic job. But if you just for whatever reason say it must be value flow trading, you can meet our guys, you can put down your details, because the discount promo is just for this event and this weekend alone. Thank you so very much. Cheers to your profitable trading.